Today we are going to do the first chapter, The Portrait of a Lady in a Hornbill. The author of the chapter is Khushwant Singh. Notice this expression in the context. Infer. Infer means find the meaning from the context. The thought was almost revolting. An expanse of pure white serenity, a turning point, accepted her seclusion with resignation, a veritable bedlam of chirpings, frivolous rebukes, the sagging skin of the dilapidated drum. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old, underlined, and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband. But that was hard to believe. Underline, that was hard to believe means for the last 20 years. The author Khushwant Singh had been watching his grandmother old and wrinkled. And if somebody says that she used to be young and pretty, the author was finding it difficult to believe. My grandfather's portrait means picture, hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. Mantelpiece means a shelf. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, means he was having a long white beard, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of a person who would have a wife or a children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother, being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. Underline why? What do you mean by this? The thought was almost revolting means that author had been watching or seeing his grandmother for the last 20 years in a same old physical condition or a state that was old and wrinkled. And if somebody says that when his grandmother was young, she used to be pretty, which was making author hard to believe that grandmother could be young and pretty. She often told us the game she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd. Absurd matlab, which is not, you can say, easy to believe. And undignified on her part. Why undignified? It was undignified means which is not respected. Undignified means author was not even able to believe that grandmother used to be young and pretty. Forget about grandmother to be a child. That seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like a fabulous. Fabulous means story of the prophet she used to tell to us. And fat, underline, it is describing about the physical appearance of the grandmother. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. So she was very old. She was very short in height, fat and slightly bent due to her old age. There was a crisscross of wrinkles everywhere on her face. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older, and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty. Clear? So when the people used to say that once your grandmother used to be young and pretty, it was difficult for Khushwant Singh or author to believe, because for the last 20 years he had been watching his grandmother in a same physical condition. But she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house. Hobbled means move. She hobbled about the house in spotless, underline, in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance a stoop, that is her body, and the other hand telling the beads of rosary. Rosary means जो माला होती है, मंत्र वाली जो माला होती है, उसे कहते हैं beads of rosary. Her silver lock means her white hair. Her silver locks were scattered and tied over her pale, puckered face. Puckered face means face full of wrinkled. Puckered face and her lips constantly moving in an inaudible prayer. So, physically, grandmother was old, terribly old, having a stoop bending, one of her hand on her waist giving support to her body, another hand telling the beads of the rosary. She was having a silver lock falling on her forehead or on her face, puckered face, and always her lips used to move in an inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter moon landscape in the mountain, an expanse of pure white serenity. Expanse of pure white serenity means when you see the mountain, it's covered with snow and it gives you peace, calm. Same way, looking at the grandmother, you could find the peace and contentment, satisfaction on her face, which means that grandmother was satisfied with her life. And I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. So Arthur had been living with his grandmother in the village because their parents are living in city and they had not taken Arthur along with him. So he was living with his grandmother in the village, and their bond was very strong. Listen carefully. There will be a 3 phase in the life of Arthur and the grandmother. First phase we are talking about when Arthur used to live with his grandmother in the village. Underline the complete para. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song. Monotonous means dull, uninspiring, while she bathed and dressed me in a hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. Then she would fetch my wooden. I listened because I loved her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate. पहले के time में slates आते थे wooden type के, which she had already washed and plastered, means painted, covered with yellow chalk. A tiny earthen inkpot, an inkpot made up of clay, and a red pen. Tie them all in a bundle and hand it over to me. After a breakfast of a thick stale means basi chapati, with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village talk. The question might come that grandmother was an animal loving. Yes, that whenever she used to take Arthur to the village school, she always used to carry the stale chapatis for the village talk. Another question might come that grandmother was a religious lady. Yes, because while giving birth to the Arthur, she always used to sing the prayer in a monotonous song in a hope that Arthur might learn it. When my parents were comfortably, my grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. Underline. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in a row on either side of the veranda, singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus. My grandmother sat inside reading the scripture. So, Holy Scripture. So the question might come, how could you say that the grandmother was a religious lady? So answer will be that when grandmother always used to accompany Arthur to the village school because the school was attached with the temple. When Arthur and other children were busy in studying, at that time grandmother used to read the holy book or scriptures in the temple, which shows that grandmother was a religious lady. When we had both finished means the Arthur had finished his class and grandmother had finished reading holy book. We would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home growling. Growling means producing sound and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. Sent for us means they called us. That was a turning point in our friendship. Underline. Very important. The turning point means now their relation will be changed when they are going to come and live in the city. Although, underline, we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to the school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the street and she took to feeding sparrow in the courtyard of our city house. This also shows that grandmother was an animal loving. As the years rolled by, as the time was passing, we saw less of each other. So there was now no strong bond between the author and the grandmother which they used to have in the village. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for the school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English word and little things of Western science and learning. Underline the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lesson. Lesson means the subject. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English medium school and was distraught that there was no teaching about God and the scripture. Underline, this also shows that the grandmother was a holy lady or a religious lady. One day I announced that we were being given a music lesson. She was very disturbed. Underline, to her music had lewd association. Lewd means not good, bad association. It was the monopoly. Monopoly means one man rule. That is ek chhatra of herald. Herald means the people who sing to earn money and beggars and not meant for gentle folk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. She really talked to me after that. So, after that incident, when Khushwant Singh had come and informed his grandmother that now they are going to be given an music class, she was not happy. According to her, the musics are meant for the beggars and the other people. It is not meant for the people belonging to good family. After this incident, grandmother and author, they had a very less communication or an interaction. Underline, when I went up to the university, when author started going to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. Snapped means broken. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Seclusion means loneliness. Resignation means willingness. So, when author was given a separate room, when he started going to university, whatever the friendship or relation grandmother and the author were having, that was totally broken. Now, instead of crying and complaining about her loneliness, about not being treated properly or well, she accepted her loneliness without blaming anyone, which shows that grandmother was a very strong, a lady of a strong character. She really left her spinning ways, spinning matlab charkha, to talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her spinning and reciting prayer. Only in the afternoon she relaxed, mistakes for a while to feed the sparrow. While she sat in the veranda, open space, breaking the bread into little bits. Underline, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirping. Underline, what you mean by this? Creating a veritable bedlam of chirping means producing a different kinds of sounds. Came and perched. Perched means sat on her legs, others on her shoulder. Some even sat on her head. She smiled, but never shoot them away. Shoot matlab send them away. It used to be the happiest half an hour of the day for her. Underline. What used to be the happiest half an hour day of her life means when she used to feed the sparrow. When author decided to go abroad foreign country for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. He thought that his grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, no one could tell. Means nobody could tell whether after coming back from his study from the foreign country, whether author would be able to meet his grandmother physically or not due to her old age. But my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental, underline, which shows she was a lady of strong character. She came to leave me at the station, railway station, but did not talk or show any kind of emotion. She was not crying. She was not showing that she was sad. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayers. At that time also she was praying. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Still she was counting the beads. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left I cherished. Cherish means kept the moist imprint, underlined, as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So when she kissed the forehead of the author, at that time the author thought that this might be the last physical contact of his grandmother and him. But that didn't happen. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. After 5 years, when he came back to his country, after completing his education, he saw his grandmother waiting for him at the station. She did not look a day older. She was same as he had left it before 5 years back. She still had no time for word, and while she claps me, means hugged me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayer. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments, underlined, were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes. Frivolous means which is not real. Rebuke means scolding. So whenever she used to feed the sparrow, she used to scold them. But that scolding was not sincere. She used to play with them, and in playing only she used to scold them. In the evening, a change came over her. Underline, she did not pray. First time in her life, grandmother didn't pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumbed the sagging means old, skin of dilapidated drum. Dilapidated means whose condition it was not good. And sang the homecoming warriors. Warriors means the people who are coming back from the battle. We had to persuade her. Persuade means stop her to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. The next morning she was taken ill. Next morning she was ill. She had a mild fever, not a very high fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. It means the fever would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near, because sometimes the people, they get an intuition that something good or worse is going to take place with them, and grandmother knew that she is going to die. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life means before she died, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. We protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in her bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect means find, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless finger. Rosary means that mala fell from her finger, which shows that grandmother had died. A peaceful pallor means you can say expression spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. We lifted her off the bed, and it's a custom that we cannot put the dead body or make the dead body stay on the bed. We have to lay it on the ground. So grandmother body was laid on the ground and covered with her red shroud. Shroud is a coffin. After a few hours of mourning, after crying and all, we left her alone to make arrangement for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher, that is we call it a arthi, to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. The whole room was filled with sunlight. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. Courtyard means an open space. all over the veranda and her room, right up where she lay dead and still wrapped me covered in a red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. So thousand in the evening, thousand of sparrows they came and they surrounded the they surrounded the dead body of around the dead body of grandmother. Still wrapped scattered. There was no chirping. The birds were all sitting very quietly. We felt sorry for the birds, underlined, and my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke it into a little crumbs, means pieces, the way my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. The sparrow took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse, means dead body, off, they flew away quietly. They means the sparrows. Next morning, the sweepers swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin, which shows that the animals, the birds, they were also mourning on the death of grandmother. Here, especially what you have to see, the question will comprises of how grandmother was a lady of strong character. Grandmother was a religious lady. The turning point in the life of grandmother and the author. How grandmother accepted her loneliness, how she used to spend time in the city. There are so many questions which we are going to discuss later on. Thank you very much.